Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm taking a break from Dr. Disrespect and the speed, violence, and momentum to bring you guys crypto news, and we have some pretty good stuff today. One of the things we're going to talk about is Goldman Sachs hiring cryptocurrency traders, which is just going to be a good thing for the price of crypto, and of course what we have on the screen, as well as some other news. So Walton Chain, the Internet of Things, and RFID. So Walton Chain has popped up lately, and it surges in price, goes down in price, surges in price. There was some crazy Twitter drama with that giveaway thing, but I think Walton Chain is going to be going up in price quite a bit throughout the year, at least doubling in price. So I think it would be a good investment to just throw a little bit of extra cash into. We're going to talk about some other news as well. So Walton Chain looks to combine blockchain technology with RFID hardware. Their goal is to create a more efficient and ergonomic storage, tracking, and distribution system, and implement this on a global stage to large manufacturers, retailers, distribution centers. Putting the supply chain on the blockchain brings greater transparency to all involved parties. So now I know what everybody thinks when they hear RFID. They think those little chips that you put in your body, especially I think the whole 9/11 thing brought out the whole RFID, and it's like there was like videos with women putting them in their arms to feel safe, and their children and things like that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're just talking about little GPS RFID global tracking chips. So the Walton Chain project refers to this system as the Value Internet of Things, not to be confused with the Internet of Things, I guess, which refers to the exchange of information between physical devices that are connected via the internet. As stated by the developers of Walton Chain, the drawback of the current IoT models is that the physical devices connected to the networks must be verified under the same IoT service provider. Simply put, this can result in centralization, which will limit the autonomous cooperation between everything on the network. The new concept of Value Internet of Things, which they just totally made up, but we'll go with it, puts the previous model directly on the blockchain. The need for trust disappears, and the decentralized network takes place. So RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification. It's a little hardware device that has a small antenna, which can be built into products like shirts, food, shipping containers, or clothes hangers. RFIDs typically work by collecting data from the physical world and storing information using an API as a middleman to add it to the blockchain. So all this data is first passed through a centralized party. A truly decentralized system is not possible without the model. So they will be creating that pretty soon, and working on all that. They're working with partners. So for clarification, Walton Chain and the China Mobile IoT Alliance agree to work together and are finalizing the details of the official partnership. We're very excited for this opportunity. Stay tuned for more to come. So taking a look at Walton Chain, at its peak just before February, it was $43.89 or so. And now we're actually all the way down to $13.87. So pretty good time to buy. The best time to buy obviously was about $8.50 there. But still a pretty good buy, because if it goes all the way back up to nearly $50, that's, you know, a little over 3 times or so the value. So if you put in your money now, wait till it's back up to nearly $50, you have 3 times to your investment. So not too bad. Another one that I wanted to talk about really quick was Ambrosis. So I believe that this is the blockchain with pharmaceuticals, and as we can see here, it's at a really low price. It's like 60 cents. At its height was $1.62, $1.70 or so, and that was about January 6th or 5th. So that's another pretty good investment. So another like 3-fold investment if it goes back up to its height. So not too bad there. So Goldman Sachs has hired a crypto trader. Goldman Sachs hired Justin Schmidt as VP and head of digital assets markets to help the bank through its crypto exploration. So they hired a crypto trader, but I'm sure this is the head VP of their digital assets, so he'll be hiring people under him, so they'll be hiring more crypto traders. So Goldman maintains that contrary to month-long rumors, has no plans to launch a crypto trading desk. So not like a necessarily public thing, but I'm sure you can still get a hold of them if you have a lot of money. You know, if you have a lot of money. Goldman Sachs has hired a crypto trader to help to navigate client interest in trading Bitcoin and other crypto assets. So they're not going to be directly trading. They're going to help their clients trade, which is kind of the same thing. So Justin Schmidt joined the investment banking giant's securities divisions last week as VP and head of digital asset markets. He was previously a senior VP at 7-8 Capital and portfolio manager at LMR Partners before that, according to his LinkedIn profile. So, you know, there's a lot of Goldman Sachs investors, you know, and all these people will be looking for or calling in to Goldman Sachs saying, hey, what is this Bitcoin thing? Hey, what is all this cryptocurrency talk all about? And this guy will be helping them make those decisions to buy, which I'm sure a little bit of profit on Goldman Sachs' end. And that will likely raise the price of cryptocurrency, or likely, you know, introduce people that would not have gotten into crypto without a professional telling them that it is okay and how to do it. So Justin Schmidt joined the investment bank giant securities divisions last week as VP. Oh, you already read that. Rumors about Goldman Sachs' strategy for crypto-related offerings have circulated since November, as Bloomberg reported. The bank is planning to launch of a crypto trading desk. Dedicated crypto media outlets have tried to debunk that story, reporting that the bank already has one. Goldman Sachs has continually denied these stories. So in 2015, however, Goldman was a part of a $50 million funding round in Circle, which at the time was designed to let users trade Bitcoin, and has since pivoted to a payments company and launched a second product dedicated to trading. So in response to client interest in various digital products, we're exploring how to serve them in the space. So a spokeswoman said, at this point, we have not reached a conclusion on the scope of our digital asset offerings. So they haven't reached, you know, a total conclusion. They're not like directly trading Bitcoin themselves, but they are offering advice to their customers because all their customers are obviously paid customers who have investments with them. And, you know, a lot of people need some kind of advice on how to get into crypto, and they don't want to listen to just anybody on the street, because some of these people, you know, are whales, and they have, you know, $50,000, $100,000, $1 million plus to invest. I'm not saying 50,000 makes you a whale, but either way, these people have a lot of money to invest, and they're not just going to trust anybody on the street or anybody even on YouTube to tell them, you know, hey, the crypto's good. Look, the crypto price is going up. I said back when crypto was 6,000 and 7,000 that now is the time to buy, and I would get all these comments on my channel saying, "Oh, you're just, you're just trying to get all these people to buy to raise the price. You're just trying to, crypto is dead. Crypto is going to die. Like stop spamming crypto because it's dead." And I'm like, no, now is the time to buy. This is like literally when a good investor would buy crypto. And look at our price now. We're at 9,000 and climbing. So maybe, you know what I mean? I like knowing that I was right on that one. Circle doubles minimum Bitcoin trade to 500K, as CEO says volumes will rise. So the over-the-counter trading platform of Goldman Sachs Bank's financial services startup Circle doubled its minimum Bitcoin trade to 500,000 amid what it calls a robust market. So in comments to Business Insider, Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire said the move preempts a U-turn in crypto trading markets, which saw volumes decline in Q1 this year as Bitcoin and altcoin assets price fell. The minimum ticket size has been moved up to $500,000 with an average of $1 million, he told the publication, noting the company's over-the-counter platform Circle Trade routinely handles transactions over $100 million, adding the watermark will continue to rise. Circle has made a conspicuous return to the cryptocurrency industry this year, most directly in its acquisition, a major cryptocurrency exchange, Poloniex, in February. So going forward, at moments of over-the-counter trading, see advantages in offering large-scale investors a method to interact with Bitcoin wholesale, an option which traditional exchanges with less liquidity cannot match. So if I have 5 million, I can't do that trade on GDAX, an unnamed industry source added to Business Insider. Last week, Cointelegraph reported on rumors Brazil's biggest investment firm was preparing to launch an over-the-counter exchange of its own, hitting 9,000 on April 21st, fluctuating around that mark since Bitcoin continues to spark fresh optimism about prices hitting new all-time highs in the near future, with recent predictions from industry insiders running as high as 250,000 per Bitcoin. Now I have to take a sip of my Mexican Coke. Everybody go out and buy Mexican Coke. Coke, please send me a check for $12,408. Seriously, guys, if you're gonna drink Coke, though, you got to get the Mexican Coke. You got to get in the glass bottle with the real sugar. And not that like corn syrup stuff. I'm not even sure. I don't know. But it's so good. Trust me. Go out, get yourself a bottle. And Coke, come on, send me that check. But anyway, so that's true. You know, if you have $5 million and you go to GDAX and, you know, you put in a market order for a buy, you're going to end up getting way less Bitcoin than you would have, because the market is going to buy every seller's Bitcoin for who knows how long. Like, you're going to raise the price by like $1,000 and you're going to get way less Bitcoin than you should have. So the over-the-counter trading is useful for the whales, if you will. 330 million EIP 999 stokes debate over the Ethereum frozen by Parity's contract bug. So I haven't really talked about this, but basically a company has 513,000 Ethereum frozen. And we'll talk about it in a second here, but they're trying to get it unfrozen, but it will be sort of a controversy to unfreeze it. So the debate over a controversial Ethereum improvement proposal designed to restore a self-destructed smart contract holding hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum is heating up. EIP 999, written by Parity Technologies developer Afri Shodan, calls for Ethereum to adopt a software upgrade that patches the UK-based company's frozen multi-signature wallet contract library. Wow, that's a long one. Allowing users to regain access to approximately 513,000 Ethereum. Those funds, collectively worth nearly $330 million at the current exchange rate, were rendered unspendable last November by pseudo-anonymous GitHub user DevOps199. Exploited a bug in the contract source code accidentally, the user claims, that allowed him or her to declare ownership of the contract library and cause it to self-destruct. Nearly 600 different wallet owners lost funds as a result of the bug, including Polkadot, a project led by former Ethereum CTO and Parity founder Gavin Wood. Polkadot's wallet currently holds more than 306,000 Ethereum, now worth approximately 200 million. So this proposal is necessary because Ethereum protocol does not allow for the restoration of self-destructed contracts, so there's no other simple way to enable the affected users and companies regaining access to their tokens at Ethereum. So previous EIPs attempting to create a recovery process for self-destructed contracts have been met with resistance by Ethereum community, and EIP 999 has attracted its share of critics, particularly since Parity's contract is the only frozen library it would patch. A poll hosted on the Ethereum block explorer Ether chain, which allows users to vote by signing a message with their wallets and then tallies votes based on that funds held by voters, shows a tight debate, with 52.6% of funds, or 1.6 million Ethereum, voting in opposition of the proposal. So most say no. It looks like maybe no percentage says don't care, basically, and yes says to release those funds. However, social media users have raised two major criticisms of the poll, which they claim unfairly benefits its supporters. First, the poll allows contract creators to vote for the funds stored in those contracts, even if they are multi-signature wallets. Consequently, Polkadot was able to use 306,000 Ethereum, which are not spendable unless EIP 999 or another similar measure is enacted. So, you know, they're trying to get this unfrozen, but the thing is if they unfreeze this, you might as well unfreeze all Ethereum contracts, and that could be bad. That could, you know, some contracts need shutting down, you know, to end themselves. Similar to proof of weak hands. It needs to be shut down and ended because it's like the stupidest game I've ever heard of. Why would you trust your money when it's just going to go? You people. And then there was a video against me by Proof of Weak Hands, and you know what? I never watched it because I just don't care. I've seen a lot of smart contract videos. I've seen smart contract videos on Proof of Weak Hands of saying people that say, "Oh no, this is totally fine." You know, of coders reading it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that it's an outright scam that's going to shut down on you. I'm just saying that it's stupid to send all your money through this system and you know, let it go through this game. Why not just be smart with your money like a normal person? And if you're not smart with your money, you're not a normal person. Prince Edward Island website down due to crypto ransomware attack. So this is kind of interesting. It's almost a little ridiculous too. So Prince Edward Island, if you guys don't know, is in eastern Canada. It's just above Nova Scotia and I don't know, geography of Canada, screw it. But anyway, eastern Canada. The website for the government of Prince Edward Island in Canada has gone down for maintenance with a placeholder message saying that it's temporarily unavailable. The Guardian reports that the government was the victim of a ransomware attack. After the malware hit, visitors to parts of the PEIE's government site witnessed a message saying, "Oops, your website have been encrypted." The pages also told visitors that one couldn't simply decrypt the files without a tool provided by the attackers, insisting that they do not waste their time trying to do this themselves. The payment demanded by the ransomware's author, get this, was such and such Bitcoin, which is roughly $50 using today's Bitcoin value. $50? Analyzing the screenshot that the Guardian provided, it looks like this was just another strain of the WannaCry attack that hit hundreds of thousands of systems around the world in May last year. The demand was usually higher, around $300 in Bitcoin, but the mechanism was practically the same. Even the color scheme used was identical. The only major difference between the two was that WannaCry would use the term computer, while this copycat version replaces it with the word website. Although the popularity of ransomware is on the decline in favor of cryptojacking, companies still stocked up on Bitcoin to pay off hackers since the WannaCry attacks took place, according to Traitor, Russian CEO of Citrix. Ransomware attacks continue to work their way through the corporate and government servers, most of them more or less copycats of the one that ripped off the systems worldwide last year. So most recently, Atlanta's government was hit with a plague of this type of malware a month ago, though ransomware is steadily losing popularity because of the amount of talent required to execute this kind of attack on a large scale. Companies should note that the fact that the threat is still out there, and they stand to lose a significant amount of capital if they do not take measures to prevent getting hit. So $50 of Bitcoin. I figured you know, all that work, you might as well ask for more. I mean, like, not that I'm condoning this sort of thing, but you might as well ask for more Bitcoin than that. $50. But I guess at the same time, maybe if you're able to do this very, very quickly on numerous government computers and things like that, they'll probably just pay you $50 because that's just such a small price. Yeah, that's it's just very silly. Very, very silly. So the total market cap is now over $400 billion for crypto. It's back on up, moving on up to the east side, get ourselves a piece of the pie, deluxe apartment in the sky. So 400 billion, awesome. We got a ways to go. We're about like halfway to where we were at the all-time high. But that all-time high was very interesting. It was more like a hype high. Like, it spiked up really quick. If you look at the charts of Bitcoin, it spiked up very, very fast, went down very, very fast. And that's just, you know, the way it goes. You know, when you see a big spike like that up, that's not very organic growth. You want it to go a little bit slower than that so it doesn't go down very fast. So I think that was just a big hype. So I think we did correct to where it kind of should be, to be totally honest. And now we're working our way back up. So either way, moving on up. I don't want to say it again. I'm not going to sing it again. So early investor in Tesla, Skype, Hotmail, and it says Bitcoin will be bigger than all those combined. So not only does venture capitalist Tim Draper think Bitcoin is here to stay, he says it could be bigger than the internet. This is the guy that always goes around in his Bitcoin tie. When asked during a debate on how the digital currency compared to early investments in Tesla, Hotmail, and Skype, Draper said Bitcoin will be bigger than all those combined. This is bigger than the internet. It's bigger than the Iron Age, the Renaissance. It's bigger than the Industrial Revolution, Draper said. At Intelligence Squared U.S. debate presented in partnership with Manhattan Institute's Adam Smith Society on Saturday. This affects the entire world, and it's going to be affected in a faster and more prevalent way than you ever imagined. Draper founded leading venture capital firms Draper Associates and DFJ, reiterated his bullish call for Bitcoin to hit 250,000 within 4 years, and elaborated on use cases. In 5 years, you're going to try to buy coffee with fiat currency, and they're going to laugh at you because you're not using crypto. The early internet investor said, "I believe that there will be a point at which you will no longer really want any of the fiat currency." Draper bought nearly 30,000 Bitcoins in 2014 U.S. Marshal Service auction at the U.S. Marshal Service auction, and told CNBC in December he was still holding all those coins. If that's the case, Draper's holding is worth about $268 million at Monday's prices. The opposition in Saturday's debate, Financial Times managing editor Gillian Tett, highlighted nefarious uses for Bitcoin. Of course, here we go again. Its volatility and risk to investors. Draper responded that he's more secure in my Bitcoin than I am with money that's sitting there in Wells Fargo. So Overstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne debated alongside Draper in favor of Bitcoin. It was equally bullish on its security. This has been hacked at more than anything in history and has never been defeated, Burns said. Last I checked, banks get hacked too. And yeah, Bitcoin is used by unsavory characters. Last I checked, they used US dollars too. Byrne is in the process of reorganizing Overstock's retail business to focus on blockchain, the technology behind Bitcoin. While there are more than 1,500 cryptocurrencies in existence, according to CoinMarketCap, Draper said Bitcoin has an enormous lead and will likely win the long-term crypto battle because of its market share. Bitcoin dominated about 38% of the global market capitalization. Ethereum is the next biggest, making up about 16%, while Ripple comes in third at about 8.5%. And I know people disagree with me a little bit, but here's my once again, here's my opinion of all that. Little issue on the desk there. So Bitcoin is the household name. Bitcoin is the household name. When you go to the store, you go, if you're in America anyway, and you go to the department store, you go to the grocery store, you go to Walmart, you go to Fry's, you go to wherever you go. And if you go to blow your nose, you ask somebody, "Hey, do you have a Kleenex?" You don't even know that you're asking for a tissue. It's Kleenex at this point. You know it's a tissue, but everybody calls it Kleenex. It's the household name. So when anybody talks about crypto for the first time or in a group, people, the first thing that will come up is likely Bitcoin. That's what people go out and buy Bitcoin. It's been around the longest. It's the household name. That's why it has the biggest market cap. It's a great currency. So far, that's it. All it is a currency and a store of value. Although you could consider all cryptos, gold, and lots of things as a store of value. So it's a store of value and a currency. Whereas Ethereum is a store of value, a currency, and able to write smart contracts, applications, etc. in the blockchain. Right? So that in itself is already bigger than Bitcoin. It can do one more thing than Bitcoin can. One more huge thing that Bitcoin can't, right, is write smart contracts and applications. So that's why I think Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin sooner or later. All these coins you see coming out, all these ICOs, almost all of them, are ERC20 tokens that need Ethereum to power for the gas and for the transactions and such to go across the network, okay? So that means that they have to receive Ethereum. That means that people have to buy Ethereum and send them Ethereum for their ICO so they can even send out these coins to begin with. Now, mind you, you don't need much Ethereum to actually make transactions, but you do need some. And so we're having more and more of that. So then I go into Litecoin. And are there other coins that might be able to fit Litecoin better? Maybe, but my favorite is Litecoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is not only a store of value, like all other currencies, it is a currency just like Bitcoin. It can be used as a currency. You can send it to somebody, buy things, goods and services, and at the same time, it transfers much faster than Bitcoin, even both on Lightning Network, because Litecoin already has it, right? So with Litecoin, I noticed I've sent a lot of Bitcoin, I've sent a lot of Litecoin, I've sent a lot of currencies, right? When you send Bitcoin, you're waiting for a while. You're waiting 20 minutes, half an hour for that transaction to go through. That's when the block isn't. That's when the ledger, the block isn't full at all of transactions, right? When Bitcoin was at 20,000, you're waiting much longer. You're waiting an hour or two for that to go through, and for it to confirm all the blocks. Litecoin is significantly faster, at least 50% faster. It goes through very, very quickly. Now, I know a lot of other currencies go through even faster, but Litecoin's market cap currently, combined with its fast, low fees, I feel that Litecoin is just a better currency than Bitcoin. I hold Bitcoin, I hold Litecoin, I like them both. But I just feel that it's a better coin. Like if I was going to pay somebody and I had equal amounts of Bitcoin or Litecoin, and I was like, hey, what do you want to be paid in? And they're like, I don't care, Litecoin or Bitcoin. I would send them Litecoin, right? Because it's going to cost me less. It's going to get through faster. And then Ethereum is just going to be bigger just because it's a store of value. It is a currency, but it is much more than all of that. You can actually write things to the blockchain. And I know there's a lot of copycats now that can also write it to the blockchain and things like that. But Ethereum is just, I think eventually the flippening will happen about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.